Hello, welcome to Assembly Update. I'm Mike Mann. Governor Patterson opened the 2009-2010 legislative session, delivering his first State of the State address as governor. Today we're going to take a look at some of the things he had to say with Assemblymember Addie Russell, who represents the 118th Assembly District, the counties of Jefferson and St. Lawrence. Assemblywoman, good to see you. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Your first State of the State address, Governor Patterson's as well.
Yes.
He kind of outlined some of his agenda for the upcoming year and talked a little bit about some of the things he discussed when he released his budget back in December. Your thoughts on what some of the things that he had to say and what he's looking to do this year?
Well, obviously we're in a very tough, fiscal climate right now, and the governor is trying to, I think, be balanced in his approach of, how we cut spending and also try to address, revenues and increasing revenues. But, the measures that he has put forth are certainly issues that are going to affect the 118th district. So, while, we can be supportive in that he's really working to address the problem, also have to be vigilant about what the real effects are going to be in the North Country and if there's any ways that we can help to mitigate those effects.
Do you have a problem with his approach to this crisis? He doesn't sugarcoat anything. He lays it out there like it is, and he really tells it like it is and doesn't hide anything.
Well, that is very refreshing, and I have no problem at all with him being very direct and straightforward, because quite frankly, I don't think we need to waste any energy on theatrics at this point. We have, tough decisions to make, and we just need to start making them.
What are your thoughts on his deficit reduction plan? We're talking about the present budget that we still need to reduce. I believe it's about $4 or $5 billion.
Right.
What are some of the things that he is proposing, and some of the things you like and some of the things you don't like?
Well, one of the things that my district is known for is our beauty and our tourism as a result of that. The fact that he is cutting, tourism matching grants is, a large problem. It obviously leverages other money that's already out there that could, be being used for tourism efforts, which is a very large part of the North Country's economy. So, that part is particularly troubling, given that it's not just the state funds that are funding the entire program. There's other money that's, been committed and is coming in. And we really need to make sure that, our beautiful St. Lawrence River and our other wonderful attractions are being marketed.
Is some of that other money, is that affected by how much money the state puts into the program?
I believe it's matching, so I think, it has to be dollar for dollar for them to be able to use it. So, yes, it's, we need to get some state money in there.
He's proposing a decrease in college base aid, around $270 per student. How does that affect the residents in your assembly district?
Well, that's for community colleges, and we only have one community college in the district. That's in Watertown, Jefferson Community College. Now, luckily, the governor has put in a three-tier type of a cut, and the dollar amount per student at JCC is certainly less than the dollar amount per student, say, downstate, like at Nassau Community College, but still. Our operating budget isn't something that you can slash by that large of a figure. And so it really is going to cause the college to really have to figure out how to provide services. And, if we don't have the state funding, you have to look toward your local sponsor and to, other ways to increase the revenues. And, I really don't want to have to pass any more on to our localities, Jefferson County, which is the sponsor of Jefferson Community College, or onto the students who, we're an economically depressed area as it is. And, this could really become a barrier for a lot of our local people to get education. And not only high school graduates, but our adults who are in the workforce and may be feeling the pressures, maybe being laid off, or feel that they need to go back to school in order to get, a better job, in the next couple of years. So, the cuts to community colleges is particularly concerning to me because also with the cuts, the governor is also proposing obviously cuts to our four-year institutions. And so they're going to have to reduce their enrollment. And logically, if you can't get into our SUNY Potsdam or SUNY Canton, then you're going to rely on a community college. And so there's a lot more pressure on our community colleges.
Now the SUNY system is feeling the pinch as well. In
Absolutely.
fact, the board of director or the board of trustees has already raised tuition rates at SUNY schools.
Right, and the governor has proposed increasing TAP awards to help cover that, but there's also a lot of other little changes that are being made to the TAP program, such as in order to get your full award, you have to have 15 credit hours. You know, and a lot of our students have to travel long distances, and so, or hold jobs because they're non-traditional students, so making sure you're at that 15 credits is going to be difficult for a lot of people. And also the average, you know, college student, even, you know, coming out of right out of high school, you know, they don't always, you know, keep 15 credits, you know, so it's, you know, there is that little, there's also these other little hidden, you know, parts of changing TAP that, you know, if they go through, I'm going to have to make sure that everyone is well aware that, you know, if you drop below 15 credits, your financial aid is going to change.
Your thoughts on the governor's proposal to create the New York State Higher Education Loan Program? I mean, would that be helpful, or is that just something small and to start out with, and it really wouldn't affect that many people?
Well, you know, it'd be nice if we could design this type of program when we weren't in tough, you know, fiscal straits. But I think we need to, because we have to ensure that there is money out there so that students can continue to go to school. I financed my higher education largely on student loans, and so I understand the necessity of those. And with the credit, you know, system being what it is, you know, students and parents aren't going to be able to get the loans that they used to be able to get just a couple of years ago. So ensuring that there's access to credit so they can continue to further their education is critical, and I applaud the governor for, you know, working on this issue and trying to get a system off the ground.
The governor's proposing reforming the tuition assistance program. This is a very popular program, helping a lot of kids go to school. It's a program that the Assembly fights for funding every year. And your thoughts on what he's proposing in that area?
Well, as I mentioned before, he's going to increase funding for it, but at the same time, you know, add some strings to it. So, you know, I can understand, you know, the need to, you know, to change that and to really try to get students focused on 15 credit hours in order to get full TAP funding, you know, but, you know, circumstances can change mid-year, you know, there's a lot of pressures on students and they may fall below that 15 credits. So, you know, if this is something that we have to do in order to keep the state on track and to reduce the deficit, you know, I'm going to have to make sure that I communicate to my residents in my district that you've got to really keep a close eye now on credit hours in order to keep your TAP. So, but I'm glad that he's increasing it because of the increased tuition.